are going to discuss the consumer businesses. If you are related to consumer industries, you are into electronics, you are into manufacturing, you are into trading. This all will be the discussion for now. How the consumer business works and what would be the implication of VAT and what things you need to keep in your mind. This is what we are going to discuss now. So how we determine, the basic rule of determination of a VAT is location. Suppose any transaction happened outside UAE, so there is nothing to do with UAE VAT liability. You have to make sure that which place, which location the transaction has been settled. There could be several scenarios. UAE is a great country in terms of trade and in terms of facilitation. So a lot of people make companies here in the free zones, and they just bring the goods from different countries, and without entering in UAE they re-export to the other countries. So in that scenario, what is your liability in terms of VAT? This is a question that as an accountant, as a tax planner, or as a CFO, you should be very clear about. Now, as a basic rule, as I told you, it will be the location, but there could be specific rules based on industry. Like if you are in the real estate, you are into water and energy, and you are doing a cross-border transactions. Things are going between two countries, so that you have to know further in detail the nature of the transactions. In terms of service, you have to see that where the ultimate service has been used. So that will be the basic criteria as a basic rule to determine about the VAT liability. In terms of supply of goods, we can create two scenarios: whether the goods didn't export out of UAE. This can be the first scenario. And the other is that goods are exporting outside UAE. For example, we are exporting to UK or other countries. In that case, of course, based on the nature of item, we can see this is zero rated and how to account for that. If it is a domestic supply from Abu Dhabi to Fujairah or Dubai or Ras Al Khaimah or Sharjah, so this is the territory is United Arab Emirates, so all input and output tax need to be calculated. We could have B2B scenario. There are some words we know: B2B, B2C means business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer. These are some new ways of doing business. So what would be the VAT implications for such businesses? If it is a B2B import in UAE from a GCC country, so how we are going to account for? For such scenarios, it's very important to understand a term called a reverse charge, where you are paying a VAT on input and then you are claiming it back through the mechanism of output. So in net effect, it's going to nil out. Let's discuss a different scenario. Like for example, goods has been imported in UAE and has exported to GCC countries. So of course, in this scenario, import is not claimable or recoverable, and we will see that it is just an import and the re-export. It came in your country, and then we will see the actual transactions that will clarify the scope of the transaction itself. Let's discuss what are the rates that we need to understand or apply in our calculations for different sector and goods and services. Some sectors, mainly healthcare and education, is going to be exempted or zero rated. The more clarifications as it will come. What falls in these sectors, this will be clarified soon. Supply of goods outside the GCC countries is zero rated, in case if you are in wholesale and retail sectors. Anything on e-commerce platform will be also zero rated. Any kind of international movement of the passenger is also zero rated. Hospitality industry is going to take the load of VAT with the 5%. Same in lawyer industry, of course, 5% will be levied as your value-added tax. There could be a scenario that you buy a lot of things, then you assemble and make a composite unit. For example, when we go in Emirates airline, they charge us one ticket which include the meal and maybe other facilities as well, maybe transportation. They will pick you from home to airport and then you will have meal, so they will not charge you item by item. So such kind of products and services will be categorized as composite products and services. So in such scenarios, VAT will be applied on a composite unit itself. So let's discuss the implication of the distance sales. It might be two scenarios. One is when you are exceeding the threshold and when you are below the threshold. Threshold is the limit that has been assigned. So what could be the possible scenario? Supplier is registered in UAE and you sell goods in Saudi Arabia. The second assumption is the customer is not registered for VAT in KSA. Total amount of export by supplier remain below the mandatory threshold defined by the government of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So because the place of supply is in UAE, so UAE company is going to pay the VAT. If you're exceeding the threshold, then you have to pay VAT inside Saudi Arabia. Distance purchases, if you purchase from other countries, so what could be the possible scenario? Again, the defined threshold and when you are exceeding the threshold and when you are below the thresholds. So what assumptions we should keep it in mind? Supplier is registered in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and he sells item in United Arab Emirates. This is the first assumption. Customer in UAE is not registered for tax and he remains below the threshold. So it will be vice versa, that the company in Saudi Arabia is going to pay VAT. Opposite, we have exceeding threshold, so in that case company in UAE is going to pay the VAT. Let's discuss some industry structures. For example, like sometimes even most of the time business works this way. There is a wholesaler, even there is a manufacturer. This manufacturer make goods and then he give it to the first-hand wholesaler. This wholesaler has next distribution channel and they give it to the retailers. Retailers are going to give it to sub-retailers, or it can be from retailers to the final customers. So there could be a different transactions between this distribution channel. How to handle this scenario is really interesting. Some businesses, like when we go to a shopping mall and we buy laptops and mobiles and other stuff, so we get warranties, which is nowadays is trendy, and we feel more comfortable when we get a product under warranty. Because we live in UAE, so we are very much used to warranties. Even we travel frequently from here to back home, so we always need two type of warranties, maybe local and international both. There could be two scenarios, whether it's a separable warranty from the product. Sometime when we sell a laptop, we don't define that it's a warranty for hard drive, RAM or other things. It's a warranty for the full laptop itself. But sometimes when we buy, we are being told that this warranty includes this. If you throw the laptop on the floor, there will be no replacement for it. So based on a scenario, we have to see that this warranty is a composite warranty. It's including in the price of the item, or it is separately charged. This will build two different scenarios to handle. There are some Important points that we should keep always in mind when we are handling such kind of transactions. Always when you sell an item and you don't specify, you don't charge extra for the warranty is included in the price, so it will be a composite unit. Any kind of extended warranty is you are going to pay 5% VAT on it. A lot of concerns about free sampling when a company launches its business in UAE. Of course, it's a proper business plan that force you to advertise, give them sampling, and these free samples we invoice as a zero price. So what could be the VAT implications? Of course, zero price invoice will have no VAT as a basic rule, but there are some points that you have to keep always in the mind. For example, you are a company and you're a telecommunication company and you are selling a SIM or a plan, and you are saying that there is no price for the mobile set that you need to pay. So that could be a scenario that you need to handle. A lot of time, of course, this is a prudence that when we sell, we should know if we sell on credit. Even we have a very strong credit department. We analyze our customers based on their strength. We have risk management strategies. But still you can say based on market or external controllable conditions, you may suffer some doubtful debts or declared bad debts. So in that case, this is one case. Then one case is you sell items and some of them might can return as a sale return. Same way when we purchase some items, might be some defective color issue, quality issue, size issues, a lot of issues we can see, so we do a purchase return. So these 4 transactions always we have to consider in our calculation. There are some important points in this way. You have to see what is the invoice obligation, what is the compliance obligation, what is the place of returning these items. These are very important points in order to consider the liability for the VAT. There are a lot of services that we buy online. We don't know where is the satellite, where is the server, which technology they are using. So how to determine which country we are going to pay the VAT? So let's be clear that where the beneficiary physically locate at, this will be the criteria to calculate the services. So if you have a website, you have cloud, you have servers online, you are paying for it, then of course VAT need to be calculated. There could be some special scenarios where we don't charge VAT, say 5% on the gross invoice amount. What we do is we use a method called profit margin method. So whatever is the difference that we get from sale and purchase, what profit we get, we charge VAT on that figures. You have to see this in minute detail. It's a second-hand asset, it's an antique, it's something that is unique in nature. These are some items that need to be taken a special consideration in comparison with the normal goods and services that we are dealing every day with them. Some businesses, of course, if you are into retail businesses, you have to attract the customers, so you give them free coupons, you have some marketing attractions through different ways. So how to think about the VAT liability, this is also very important for you to consider. Of course, you might have some loyalty programs and you might have a mobile app, you redeem the points and you don't charge the customer, you reduce the points itself. So actually you didn't receive the money, So this is a very interesting scenario which all the retail stores are facing on the day-to-day basis. Now I'll discuss about the last section of our discussion is about hospitality. So when you stay in hotel, you're going to eat something, you went to cinema, of course there will be a VAT that you need to pay. But as a common incentive, residential accommodation is not going to be subject to VAT. What a residential accommodation include if there are a lot of staff is living in a building, it's like a labor camp, or it's a hospital building where nurses are staying, student accommodation. So these are all residential accommodations that are not subject to any VAT. But any commercial activity, of course, there could be a VAT value on that. So these are few of the things that I highlight. There are a lot of things that we need to know.